Today I'm going to read Independence Day 1969 from the Black Panther newspaper dated September 20th, 1969. All men are created equal. They are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and their pursuit of happiness. This immortal statement was made in the Declaration of Independence of the United States of America in 1776. In a broader sense, this means all the people on earth are equal from birth. All the people have a right to live, to be happy and free. We, members of the Provisional Government of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, solemnly declare to the world that Vietnam has the right to be a free and independent country, and in fact, it is so already. The entire Vietnamese people are determined to mobilize all their physical and mental strength to sacrifice their lives and property in order to safeguard their independence and liberty. Declaration of Independence of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, September 2nd, 1945. Since this declaration was issued, the Vietnamese people have indeed been called upon to sacrifice lives and property in their struggle for independence, peace, unity, and freedom from foreign interferences. We, the American Deserters Committee, support the struggle of the Vietnamese people against U.S. imperialism and join with them in demanding the immediate and unconditional withdrawal of all U.S. and allied troops and in calling for the recognition of the Provisional Revolutionary Government of the Republic of South Vietnam. The struggle of the Vietnamese people, the struggle of the oppressed in the United States, and the American deserters are all part of the same struggle, the fight for freedom from oppression. In that struggle, we draw strength again from the Declaration of Independence of the United States. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is to the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government. The desertion movement is an integral part of the movement for basic change in the United States, as well as part of the struggle of the Vietnamese people. While the military is the foremost tool of U.S. imperialism in oppressing the Vietnamese people, it is now clear that the National Guard, Reserve, and even active army units will be employed to repress people at home under the guise of riot control. The war is being brought home in a very real sense, but the rulers of America can feel secure only as their greatest fear is that the army, their first line of defense against the people, will desert them. Already signs of weaknesses are showing. GIs are demonstrating against the war, refusing orders for Vietnam, refusing riot duty, protesting intolerable conditions within the military, and they are deserting. The Senate Armed Services Subcommittee reports that in fiscal 1968, there were 53,357 desertions, an increase of 30% over fiscal 1967. This means that someone deserts the U.S. military every 10 minutes. Why this big increase? More and more soldiers are beginning to see that the war in Vietnam, the oppression of the poor in the United States, and the ruthless repression of dissent in the military makes a shambles of what they were taught in school in America. They see that they were the ones who were given the worst jobs or no jobs at all at home, then were drafted or forced to enlist, and now are being used to oppress the Vietnamese people as well as the people at home. In this situation, the existence of communities of deserter exiles in countries such as Sweden, France, and Canada actively working to encourage and promote desertion poses a severe threat to the establishment and provides an invaluable weapon for the opposition movement in the United States. We are first and foremost Americans, part of that movement and dedicated to its success. In Sweden, we have the support of the majority of the Swedish people, 80% of whom in 1966 took a stand for the immediate withdrawal of the U.S. and allied troops from South Vietnam. The hollow threats of Secretary of Defense Laird to increase punishment for desertion and to sharpen control of deserters in Sweden are of no consequence to us, the government of the United States, and from the people of the world, so much so that the embassy officials in Sweden complain that they are rarely, if ever, called upon to speak as representatives of their government. On the other hand, deserters are constantly being requested to speak on desertion and conditions in the United States. We greet Nixon's promise of complete withdrawal with the utmost scorn and skepticism. Should his promise by some unprecedented good chance be fulfilled, we would welcome this as a victory for the National Front for Liberation of South Vietnam. But there is no reason to expect fulfillment. Look at the record of Nixon's first 100 days. He has sent an additional 3,000 U.S. and 1,500 Thai troops. He has increased the average monthly tonnage of bombs dropped on B-52 raids from 115,000 to 129,000. He has more than doubled the monthly average of B-52 raids, and he has steadily increased reconnaissance flights over Hanoi and Haiphong. Intrusions into Laos and Cambodia by the U.S. Marines, supported by B-52s, have been reported openly in the American press. From these concrete actions, not from the promises we determined, the true intentions of the Nixon regime. Until such time as all foreign troops are driven from the Vietnamese soil, under the Vietnamese people are victorious in their struggle for independence, and until the American people are free in their own land, we shall continue to intensify our efforts in the struggle. When U.S. imperialism abroad is completely crushed, and when the oppressive system at home is totally destroyed, only then will the peoples of the world have their chance to achieve independence, and only then will the American people truly possess the independence they celebrate on this day. Stockholm, July 4th, 1969. The American Deserters Committee.